and we'll show you we still have some stronger winds in other parts of the area. We had very strong winds into Oak Creek. We also did into parts of Racine County, Walworth County, into Waukesha County, and Jefferson County. Now, our northern counties, you've kind of escaped much of the strongest of the thunderstorm action because you've been on the cold side of things. And when we talk about that, when I say the cold side of things, we're going to show you your temperatures right now and the difference between what's going on in our northern counties versus what's happening in our southern counties. Muskego, you're still at 70 degrees. 64 in Racine, 64 in Kenosha. Again, that's about to change, though, because of what's coming in. Also want to show you what it looks like live right now in Racine as this storm is pushing in to the city as we speak. Notice how the camera's shaking around quite a bit. Lots of lightning here as well. We'll kind of hang on this picture for a little bit and watch as this comes through. This is not part of the tornado warning. This is just north of the tornado warning in Racine itself. Looking back out to the west. So heads up here, watch as this is moving through. And we'll likely see even more additional power outages as this pushes through. So let's get back out to the radar and we'll show you what's then happening around the rest of southeastern Wisconsin. We'll go out of the area of showing you inside the storm with the velocity product and our Doppler winds product, and we'll take you back and show you just the radar itself and show you where we do have, of course, we've got heavy rain coming down as well. That tornado warning, again, continues until 5:30. It may not even make it that long because this storm is going to be out over the lake. We'll zoom you in tight into Kenosha and take a look inside this storm. Let's get back out to the box zoom here, and we'll show you what's going on as we look inside of this, get really close in. So right over Pleasant Prairie, it's coming down to beat the band. It is a gully washer out there. The good thing is it's moving so quickly, it shouldn't cause too much trouble except maybe some ponding on the road. So if you're expecting people coming up from Chicago on 4194, that will likely slow them down a bit. I'm sure it's pretty slow going with very, very heavy rain. Really heavy rain right over the city of Kenosha right now. Got you zoomed in. Again, we'll look at the velocity product once again to show you if this storm still has any kind of that indication that we're still seeing some of that couplet that we were looking at earlier. There's two different velocity products. We'll start here. I'll put this into motion to it. Again, this is only a half an hour, and you're going to go from no rain to watching this as it comes in, right in that area, right through there. We'll go to the other velocity product that we have. It looks at it a little bit differently. And again, start with quiet. Notice right in through there, we possibly could have had, at least for a time, a tornado that did spin up. Now, the good thing is, this is cruising right along. The bad thing is, that rotation went right over the city of Kenosha. So hopefully it had weakened some. It did not look as impressive as it did when it was sitting out here a little bit farther out to the west, but that was pretty close to Pleasant Prairie when it was making its way right in through there. So we're talking about, wouldn't be surprised at all if there's some damage reports here along 75th and Green Bay Road, right on the north side of Pleasant Prairie. I'm watching as this area, yep, right in through here. It literally went right over the center of Pleasant Prairie as it was making it, as it tightened up a little bit there for a short period of time. And that's why we had the tornado warning that was issued. Again, we'll back out again, show you what's going on here around the rest of southeastern Wisconsin. We'll stop the motion and get a look at what we have. So we do have that tornado warning, again, until 5:30. The good news, again, this is moving away so fast, we'll likely see this probably get canceled a little bit early. Lots of reports of power outages around the area, 20,000 plus, and I'm guessing that number is going to grow as this area moves through. It's November, and we're getting severe weather. But you shouldn't be surprised considering that we've had 7 out of the last 8 days with temperatures in the 70s. Mother Nature doesn't know what the calendar date is. It doesn't care. All it does is work with what the atmosphere has for it. And today, it worked out that we had enough of the instability around. We really had a lot of spin in the atmosphere, and that's what was going on here. It's known as shear. And so with that, as these storms ran into that shear, you get some spin-ups along this. This is known, here's your big term of the day. This is known as a QLCS, a quasi-linear convective system. There'll be a test, Toya, so make sure you're paying attention. So what happens is you get these little spin-ups along this line, usually they don't last very long, and thankfully, a lot of times they're not that strong. They can still produce additional damage, but even without that moving through, you still are likely seeing winds gusting out of this at anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour. Let's see if we have any additional storm reports coming in here around southeastern Wisconsin. So we'll take you out here into Walworth County and show you what's going on with this report. So numerous power outages here, multiple trees down into southern Waukesha. We talked about that with the earlier warning that you had into parts of Waukesha County. Thankfully, now you're just dealing with the rain. We'll take you out to parts of Walworth County here, where we also were dealing with a whole lot of wind here. And again, roof blown off a house, multiple trees down. So this is the kind of damage we're talking about. Even though this wasn't a tornado that rolled through there, you can still get this terrible damage. So this is probably just the beginning. We're kind of just in the beginning stages of learning what's all happened. It usually takes a little while. The emergency managers have to get out there and take a look at things, and the police officers, law enforcement, they have to get a look at what's going on around southeastern Wisconsin. So let's get back and we'll put this into motion for you and take a look at what's happening. And also, Daji, do you have anything that you want to add right now?
Like you said, we saw some rotation there. Here's a look at the rotation detector. If you can pull up links 2, that's just showing us that we had that shear going on. Do notice Milwaukee County is no longer in that severe thunderstorm warning that has expired. But as you head into Racine, as well as Kenosha, Burlington, especially closer to the lake, that's where we still have those strong winds pressing further to the east. That tornado warning, as Mark mentioned, will continue to expire because this is racing. But there was potential for some shear there, and I'd be surprised if we didn't even see some small hail as we saw out in Oak Creek. We saw pea-sized hail. So let us know on social media if you've seen anything thus far. These storms will continue to press out to the east, but there's going to be some lighter rain behind it, Mark.
Thank you, Daji. Appreciate that very much. And again, let's get kind of a recap of what's going on here. And I understand we have some live pictures to share with you. So let's go to those and take a look at where we've got some action happening right now. Take you outside. We're looking at Brown Deer. That looks like I-43, and things are moving along pretty well. And let's just kind of round robin it, and we'll show you what's going on. Miller Park, you can see those November storms and some serious November storms as well that have rolled through the area and produced quite a bit of damage and numerous power outages as well. And also kicked in a couple of different tornado warnings. We take you out to Hales Corners. Rain coming down sideways. Great shot there. I don't know which photographer of ours that is, but that is cool looking. And again, we've got the wind, we've got the rain, and you can see we take you to Racine now, and that camera continues to shake. Great lightning strikes as well. I say great, only meteorologically speaking. Hopefully it's not hitting anything important, because that, of course, is not what we want to see around here. So let's kind of remove a lot of the different clutter that we have on the screen right now, and we'll then show you where we're at. The tornado warning continues. Again, this is for Kenosha County, and it's for the eastern part of Kenosha County. But the thing is, this is almost all the way out over Lake Michigan now. So there's not a whole lot hanging out left of this. So that is good news as it's moving through. Don't have any reports of confirmed tornadoes with the first tornado warning out of Walworth County into Racine County, or the second tornado warning, which is continuing right now, and again, into eastern Kenosha County. Now, even though I say it's moving out over the lake, I know if you're in Kenosha, extending up to Mount Pleasant and Racine, all the way up to Wind Point right now, I know it's coming down like fast and furious. It is raining buckets. The good thing is this will continue to move out, and so that is actually really, really good news. So I'll show you this shear swath product here, and notice how we did have some of the reds showing up here. This is one of the new products that we have here at Weather Watch 12, and you can kind of dive into the storm a little bit more and take a look at what's really happening and watching areas. So we had it there, and we had it here in those storms that were moving towards Burlington as well. So kind of a fun way of seeing what's going on inside of that storm. We'll get back to radar and again take you to all of southeastern Wisconsin and show you the rest of the area and put this into motion for you and take a look at these storms as they move out very, very rapidly to the east at about 60 miles per hour, which you're like, there's no way a storm can move that fast. Well, it does. It has to have really strong upper level winds, and that's exactly what's been going on throughout the day today. We had those strong southerly winds, but then we also had low pressure forming here, and that created a little bit of spin at different levels of the atmosphere. And so as this line of storms that started out in Missouri and Iowa made its way through Illinois and pounded its way into southeastern Wisconsin, well, now you can see what we have, and we've got those powerful storms pushing still through parts of Racine and Kenosha County, still have that tornado warning that goes until 5:30 tonight. I would not be surprised at all, though, to see that get canceled early because, again, the storm itself is pretty much moving out of the area. We did have that tight circulation that happened for just a short time. We'll go back to that and show you the big picture. Maybe we can get both of those different circulations. The one that first started in this area, we're not going to be able to go back far enough for that because that was we only have a half hour on this loop. And so you can see in there what we're dealing with. Let's go a little bit tighter in here, and we'll talk about what happened as this was pushing in and why we saw that warning being issued. So right in this area, there's what everybody's looking at, the meteorologists, we're kind of staring in at these different colors, and they mean different things. The green is toward the radar. The red is away from the radar. When they're really close together, that's when meteorologists get nervous. That's called a couplet. And so that happened right here as it was moving over Pleasant Prairie, and that's why the National Weather Service issued that warning right in that time period there. And a lot of times with these types of storms, with these lines of storms, as they push through, they'll get those individual spin-ups, but they won't last all that long, and then it will continue to push out. I want to get a live look outside again. We'll take you to Racine because that's the area that's still getting hit pretty hard right now with that heavy rain and probably plenty of lightning as well. So it doesn't look as bad. Oh, we're still shaking quite a bit here. Temperature's down to 60 degrees. It will be much cooler than that soon because the cold front will be barging in. Now, the nice thing is, again, still plenty of lightning on this as well. We'll go back out to radar. We'll add lightning in. We'll see where those lightning strikes are continuing. Let's get back into regular radar, and then we'll show you the lightning as we add that on. Take you around the rest of southeastern Wisconsin here. Adding in that lightning, we'll see where the worst of that is. This also is a great indicator of where the strongest storms are. Oftentimes, there's a good equation that goes with the more the lightning, the stronger the storm is, because that means it's got a lot of lift to it. So we still have a lot of lightning, whole bunch of rain that was falling into parts of Fond du Lac County. Wouldn't be surprised if some of you picked up a quick inch of rain out of this, probably some pounding on the roadways, right up 41, and then heading towards 43 as well. That lightning continues to push out over the lake, so things quieting down as we work our way into Milwaukee County. Not quite done yet, though, in Racine and Kenosha, although we're on the final gasps here of that storm moving through Kenosha. So that certainly is good news. I'll get another couple of views that we can if we take a live look outside. We'll take you out to Brookfield. That's our Jilly's Car Wash camera that's located, well, we would have. The lightning might have done a number on this guy. So that happens quite a bit. We'll go to Oak Creek and see if there's still likely some rain coming down there. You can see that here at Drexel Town Square. This guy's probably just hanging out waiting for the rain to finish. Don't blame him because that's probably a good idea. We'll take you above my head here at WISN at 19th and Wells, and we are looking to the southwest in this shot, which will come up as soon as I hit the right button. And you can see things are quieted down nicely here in downtown Milwaukee again, but we've got lots of power outages. We're far from being done with the after effects of this storm, but the good thing is looking forward that we're not dealing with a whole lot of any more severe weather. This is it, so you don't have to worry about it. Now that this is going to be moving out, things are going to quiet down dramatically, and thankfully it moves so quickly. Now, tornado warning continues. Daj, did they cancel that earlier? They're still holding on. Still holding on to it, even though much of the energy is out to pushing off into the lake. It's still there. We did see a wind report of 60 miles per hour north of Kenosha around 5:18. So okay. About 10 minutes ago. And that probably was with that little bit of couplet right there. Not a surprise. Hopefully, it weakened just enough as it was moving through Kenosha, and but not surprised to see more of those power outages coming in as well. So here, there is one thing. There's a rule with the Weather Service that they can't cancel within 10 minutes of the expiration date. So they're going to take this all the way to the end. And so even though the storm itself is pushing its way out, it will be allowed to expire at 5:30, which is good news. And again, this is going to be it for severe weather. You're still going to have to worry about all that heavy rain that's coming down. We still have a fair amount of lightning as well, but the main event is pushing itself out. We're going to investigate. We'll find out whether we can find some damage reports coming into these areas through Pleasant Prairie, also the one that was heading towards Burlington, not far from Lyons, into parts of Walworth County. And of course, then we've got lots of reports of trees down, power outages as well. So we're still going to be watching this as we head throughout the evening. We'll continue to watch those damage reports as well. And Patrick and Toya, I'm sure you got the latest on other of the events that are happening here as well as those power outages.